Okay, so in this video, we're going to look at what's called the slope formula. Slope formula is a process that we can go through to find the slope given any 2 points. So I'm going to draw a point over here and a point in this space here. And I want to know what the slope of this line is. Okay, well, I don't know the coordinate of this, so I'm just going to refer to this as x sub 1. Okay, and it's just saying sub 1 because it's my first one. This is a comma, and then y sub 1. And then over here it's going to be x sub 2, comma y sub 2. Okay, well, in our previous work, we know that the slope is equal to your rise over the run. Okay, so if we look at what the rise is, well, the rise is here. So if this coordinate goes over to here, I'm going basically from this distance. Well, this coordinate right here is y1, this is y2. So I want to look at the difference, what this height is. I just take whatever y2 is, and I subtract whatever y1 is, and that would be my rise. So my rise is going to be y2 minus y1. Okay. Now, if I want to look at my run, I'm going to be looking at, okay, here's x sub 2, and here's x sub 1. If I take this x sub 2 and I subtract x sub 1, that's going to give me the distance from this value, from x sub 2 to x sub 1. So I'm going to take x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Okay, so this is the slope formula right here, that your slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so let's dive into an example. In my example, I've got the coordinates -1, comma 0, and then I have the coordinate 3, -2. Okay, well, I have a piece of graph paper here, and I actually don't want a piece of graph paper because I'm trying to do this using the slope formula. So the first thing I need to basically do is realize that each of these stands for something. So basically, x sub 1 is -1. Okay, this is y sub 1, so y sub 1 is going to be 0. Okay, and then over here, x sub 2 is going to be 3, and y sub 2 is going to be -2. Okay, well, the slope formula says take y2, which is right here, and subtract y1. Okay, so if I do that and I take y2 minus y1, that's going to result in -2 minus 0. Okay, y2 minus y1. And then it says for my x, I'm going to take x2 minus x sub 1 minus x sub 1. Okay, so when I do that, I'm going to end up with x2 is 3, or actually, hold on a second. Let me erase it. I'm going to put x sub 2 minus x sub 1 is going to result in 3 minus x sub 1, which is -1. So that's going to result in a -2 over 4, which results in a -1 over 2. So I have a slope of -1/2. Okay, so if we just graph that, we could see this -1, 0, and then 1, 2, 3, down 2. Okay, so there's my graph. So it's saying go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. Perfect. That has a slope of -1 over 2. It's a negative slope. Slope is -1/2. Okay, let's look at one more example that uses the slope formula. Okay, so let's say we wanted to find the slope of -2, 1, and 7, 1. Okay, well, you got to memorize your slope formula. You're going to take your y's and you're going to subtract them. So I'm going to get 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0 though. I'm going to get 7 subtract -2. So that's going to give me 0 over 9. So that gives me a slope of 0. But if I graph that, let me think about what's going on. -2 up 1, and over 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up 1. Okay, there's my graph right there. Okay, that has a slope of 0. Okay, so all right, let's do another example then. Let's do one maybe that something like, let's see, 1, 3, and 5, 5. Okay, so if I do that, I'm going to take my y, subtract them, 5 minus 3, 5 minus 3 over 5 minus 1, and that's going to give me 2 over 4, which gives me a slope of 1/2. Okay, now I just want to show you something like, let's say I switch these points and 5, 5 is on the left side, and then I have 1, 3, and I go and subtract these. So I'm going to take 3 minus 5 in this case, and then I'm going to take 1 minus 5. So 3 minus 5 is -2. 1 minus 5 is -4. So that results in a slope of 1/2. So I get the same answer. So you take the 2 points. You can go and get a negative over a negative, which results in a positive, or you get a positive over a positive.